Welcome to JPTV. We are your anchors. I'm Tori Johnston.
And I'm Elizabeth Head.
This week we'll be covering the upcoming Mississippi State Fair, our yearbook, upcoming sports events, and we've added a new TikTok segment, so stay tuned. Mississippi will host its 161st State Fair October 7th through the 18th. Plain and simple, if people are worried about getting the virus, they shouldn't attend the fair. Andy Gibson, Commissioner of Agriculture, stated that the CDC advises that people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions may be at higher risk for severe illness from coronavirus. Guests should evaluate their own risk in determining whether to attend. By coming to the fair, you acknowledge and agree that you assume these inherent risks associated with attendance. The situation is being monitored closely under the guidance of the Mississippi State Department of Health and the CDC. Gibson also said that the Mississippi State Fairgrounds wants to make sure your visit to the State Fair is a memorable and safe experience. All fair staff will be required to wear face coverings along with all participants upon entry. If someone shows up without one, then the fairgrounds will provide a mask. The State Fair is mostly an outdoor event. The fairgrounds complex is 105 acres. 200 people per acre will be allowed to enter, and if full capacity is met, then any more entrants will be denied. Lines will be guided into the midway walking area to reduce congestion and will have 6-foot markers to demonstrate social distancing. There will also be a reduction in vendors. Indoor events will be limited to 25% capacity. High-touch areas and surfaces will be frequently sanitized, and there will be plenty of sanitation stations provided throughout the fairgrounds. All attendees are asked to have been free of any COVID-19 symptoms for at least 14 days prior to their visit. It is encouraged to stay home if you have a fever, cough, upset stomach, or shortness of breath. Acting Director Michael Lassiter makes a statement to any fairgoers. The staff at the Mississippi State Fairgrounds has been working tirelessly to ensure our guests are protected. I hope we have one of the best fairs ever. Please bring your family and come to enjoy this wonderful event. Many students have been wondering about yearbooks from last year. Here is Elizabeth with the update.
A question that everyone has been asking about last year's quarantine regarding this school year is the yearbook. As everyone knows, everything that happens at prep is documented into the yearbook. However, after the national quarantine, we were not allowed to go back to school and all spring activities were canceled. For example, track, prom, and a spring play did not happen this year. Therefore, they could not be documented in the yearbook. Instead of covering those topics this year, the yearbook staff decided to incorporate COVID on the pages that those topics would usually be on. Every year at prep, the yearbook staff passes out the yearbooks to the student body on Patriot Avenue during the students' activity period. With prep precautions regarding COVID, this year cannot happen like it used to. Instead, they separated the tables out that the yearbooks sit on, so people would not be as close as they used to. However, they were still passed out on Patriot Avenue during activity period. Tori, do you think Kanye will win the presidential election?
Probably not, but that's not going to stop him from trying. West is running as a member of the Birthday Party and has actually made it on the ballot in 12 states, including Idaho, Minnesota, Tennessee, Iowa, Arkansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, Vermont, Mississippi, Louisiana, Utah, and Kentucky. Kim Kardashian, Kanye's wife, resorted to social media to inform her adoring fans that Kanye is having a bipolar episode. He eventually apologized and thanked Kim for being there for him. Colorado and Minnesota are both swing states and could potentially be affected by Kanye's presence on the ballot. In an interview with Forbes in July, West said that Democrats shouldn't take black voters for granted, saying to say that the black vote is Democratic is a form of racism and white supremacy. This obviously was a slight at Joe Biden, but Kanye insists that he is not running as a spoiler candidate for Biden. West has only had one campaign event thus far, and it was in South Carolina. Kanye has let the world know that he is an avid Trump supporter many times, so it will be interesting to see if his presence in the election has any effect on the votes. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Have you ever wondered where Prep Patriots get their gear? Well, we have the solution, the Prep Patriot Shop. There are many options ranging from t-shirts, sweatshirts, socks, and even fun accessories. They also have hand sanitizer and face masks to keep everyone safe from COVID. The Prep Patriot Shop, open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on Fridays at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and at home football game nights at 5:30 to 7. Hope to see you soon, and go Prep!
Here's Katie with our sports news for the week.
Starting this year, Jackson Prep has a new full-time cross-country coach, and I was able to have an interview with him while he talked about his previous athletic and academic achievements.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Daniel Burnett, and I am the head cross-country coach here at Jackson Preparatory School. So I'll give y'all a little bit of background information about me. I'm from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The city that I'm from is Gulfport, and I also went to Gulfport High School, to where I ran cross-country and track there as well. After that, I decided to go to Mississippi College, to where I ran cross-country and track there as well. I also majored in sports management, and I also have a master's in athletic administration. So I have a few other responsibilities here besides coaching. So I am a health and fitness instructor for 8th grade students, and I'm also helping with a running and nutrition class, mainly for 8th and 10th grade students. And I also help out with a study hall here at Prep. So that's just a little bit about me. Hope y'all enjoy y'all's day.
Last week was a sad week for sports at Prep. We had 3 different games canceled due to COVID. Senior high football, girls soccer, and junior high football were all supposed to play Lamar and Meridian. This week before the game were set, Lamar was forced to go back online because of an outbreak of COVID-19 in the senior high. Girls soccer plans to make up their game sometime later in the season, but unfortunately football is unable to make up the game. Because we were unable to make up the game, Lamar counted the game as a forfeit, making Prep 4-1, even though we have only played 3 games. Mr. Coco went Tuesday to the MAIS to get loss taken off of our record because the cancellation was originally mutual between both headmasters. Tomorrow, the football team will go play the Taylorsville Tartars, as Taylorsville following up a 28-0 blowout from last year. Don't forget, tonight, volleyball will be playing JA for the 2nd time this year. And soccer will also be taking on the Raiders, going strong with a record of 9-3, hoping to make it 10-3. Both of these games will be at JA. We'll be back after the short break.
Discover your voice.
Discover your creativity.
Discover your opportunity.
And your dream.
Discover your vision.
Your vibe.
Your passion. And your moment to shine.
Join Applause this school year as the Fine Arts program at Jackson Prep leaves a lifelong impression on students' hearts and minds. We would love to grow this legacy with your support and dedication. Join Applause today.
Due to restrictions colleges have put into place restricting visits to campus, students struggle deciding where to continue their education after prep. Here's Hayden Mathis with the story.
How is applying to colleges this year different from that of previous years?
The application process is actually the same as it's been for the last several years. Students are applying online. They're using both the applications from the schools and using the common application to complete their application process. So the application process hasn't changed much, but certainly the process of figuring out where to apply and where to go has changed.
What do you see as the biggest challenge when figuring out which college is the best fit for you?
Certainly the limitations that have been placed on students' opportunities to visit has changed things a lot and has made things a little bit more challenging. I think it's important for people to have a longer view of this process and to remember that hopefully things will be better in spring. Hopefully they'll be able to do visits to campuses in spring. So I've encouraged some students even to apply to schools that they're interested in, that they haven't visited, in hopes that they'll be able to visit before they have to make a decision.
What is the college counseling office and admissions offices doing different to combat these limitations?
A couple of things. One, we're doing virtual visits with college representatives from all over the country. We're at over 80 colleges that have arranged for virtual visits with us, which has been really helpful, if only for Mr. Upchurch and I to really get a sense of the details of what each school is like. The other big change that's happened in admissions is that many schools have become what is called testing optional. So students can apply to college without having an ACT score under their belt. And that's changed a lot of the process of applying to college.
Do students' interest in colleges seem different due to uncertainty in our current situation?
You'd think that, but this year has been pretty typical of our students at prep. I've seen typically about 2/3 of our students choose to stay in state, and another third will choose to go somewhere else. And the reality is that hasn't shifted much. Students are still in the same sort of mode. They're either choosing to stay in state, or that third of the class is doing something else entirely.
We've been told by government officials and health experts that coronavirus originated from bats. But the question that scientists cannot agree on is how SARS-CoV-19 mutated from affecting the RNA of bats to affecting humans. However, recently a top virologist, Dr. Li Mengyan from the Wuhan lab, where the virus began, has evidence in her report that COVID-19 was manufactured by the Chinese government and was intentionally released on the population. The report starts by stating 3 key points of evidence that proves the virus had to undergo genetic manipulation. She goes on to state that genomic sequence analysis reveals that ZC45, or a closely related bat coronavirus, should be the backbone used for the creation of SARS-CoV-2, meaning the scientists use a type of coronavirus that affects bats as the basis for COVID-19. In all, Dr. Yan states 8 key factors that suggest the virus man-made origins, proving the Chinese government had a more sinister and alternative motive than we thought.
Well, we wouldn't be having this segment if TikTok had been deleted on Sunday. TikTok was originally scheduled to be blocked from the App Store this past Sunday, but Trump agreed to a deal with Oracle and Walmart. Walmart agreed to purchase a 7.5% stake, and Oracle will own a 12.5% stake. ByteDance, the Chinese company that created TikTok, will still own 80% of TikTok. Lately, fans have been speculating that Sway member Noah Beck and Dixie D'Amelio might be dating. The two shared a kiss in her new Be Happy remix music video, but on Saturday night, Noah told paparazzi that the kiss was simply acting and just for the music video. Dixie recently broke up with Griffin Johnson in July amidst rumors that he cheated on her. Lastly, our TikToker of the week is Vinny Hacker. Vinny currently has a whopping 2.8 million fans on TikTok. He grew up in Washington State and attended one of the top 170 sports high schools in the United States. Vinny played club baseball in high school as well as playing for his high school team.
Dancing with the Stars has been a fan favorite show for over 15 years. The first episode of the show's 29th season aired on September 14th, featuring stars AJ McLean, Vernon Davis, Sky Jackson, Johnny Weir, Caitlin Bristow, Charles Oakley, Jeannie Mai, Justina Machado, Jesse Metcalf, Christelle Stoss, Anne H., Monica Aldama, Neve Schulman, Nelly, and Carol Baskin. The show also features many new pros, as well as first-time host of Dancing with the Stars, Tyra Banks. In week 1, the stars were given an opportunity to show their dancing talents without fear of being eliminated. Given this opportunity, the stars came out to shine. During the stream of the first week, family of Carol Baskin's ex-husband, Don Lewis, aired an advertisement asking for any information on the missing person. This sparked more drama from the popular documentary that was released this past summer. Many were expecting the elimination of Carol Baskin in week 2 after having the lowest score during the first week, but her popularity might have been what is keeping her on the season so far. In week 2, Charles Oakley was eliminated from Dancing with the Stars after dancing the cha-cha with his partner, Emma Slater. Here's Josh with the most important news segment of the week, mullets.
A lot of people ask me, what's a stylish haircut? And I always say a mullet, but what do people really think about mullets? What do you think about mullets?
I don't like them.
Why?
Because they just look awful.
What do you think about mullets?
I personally think they are the ugliest haircut you could have. I like a high and tight haircut.
What do you think about mullets?
Personally, if you can pull them off, go for it. I think that they are the move. And I think that if done well, it can really work out for you.
What do you think about mullets?
I think
we're all
awesome.
Wow.
That's our news for this week. Thank you for watching JPTV. We'll
Catch you next time.